Well, hi everybody at YouTube, and I am Michael Buckoff, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of the lessons at the 7-Step System to Pass a TOEFL IBT. And today, I'm doing a live feed video here at YouTube. There's really 3 specific things I'll be doing during the video. I will be listening to 2 of my students' independent speaking practice tests and give them scores. I'll also listen to a pronunciation pretest, which was submitted by one of my online students as well. Now, if any of you guys at YouTube, if you have any TOEFL questions, you can certainly post them in the live chat. The more specific your question, the better. All right, so let's get started. So the first one, I'm going to listen to a practice test submitted by one of my students. His name is Khalid. You guys don't even want to know his story, but his story may be similar to other students. He's taken the TOEFL test several times. Finally, he got 27 points on the speaking section. However, he did not have the high enough score on the reading, so he had to retake the TOEFL exam. And unfortunately, the next time he took it, his speaking was back to 23. So now he has to retake it again. But in my opinion, his speaking is very high. He has great tone, and every now and then he has some language use issues. All right, so let's see what he's doing here. So Khalid is doing independent speaking practice test number 83. Okay, hold on. I'm going to go ahead and look at the...
Personally, I prefer to read out loud when I...
Okay, here it is right here. So, let me go to the question, too. I want to make sure I know exactly what the question is. Okay, so the question is, when some read in a new language, they prefer to read out loud. Other learners prefer to read silently. Which do you prefer and why? All right, now in this part of the video, I am going to talk directly to Khalid. Why am I doing this? Because he's one of my students. So my job, and he's paying me to give him specific feedback with his speaking to help him achieve 26 points or higher. So here we go. Hi Khalid, this is Michael, and I'm getting ready to listen to your independent speaking practice test number 83, and here we go.
Personally, I prefer to read out loud when I read in a new language because this improves my pronunciation and stimulates my memory.
I like that, so improves your pronunciation, stimulates your memory. So you have 2 specific ideas in the beginning.
Well, if I read out loud, I will improve my pronunciation, which will lead to better mastering of the language that I'm learning.
Okay, let's go back to what you said. Very good tone, by the way.
Improve my pronunciation, which will lead to better mastering of the language that I'm learning.
I would say better mastery, not mastering. So better mastery of the language I'm learning. So there, instead of using the ing form of the verb master, change master the verb to a noun by saying mastery.
In addition to that, I prefer to read out loud when I read in a new language because this will stimulate my memory, which will lead to better memorizing the words and sentences that I'm reading.
Okay, I got to check your language use. One more thing, hold on.
This will stimulate my memory, which will lead to better memorizing the words and...
Better memorizing of the words. So you didn't put that preposition in there, so be careful. Memorizing, I would say memorizing of there.
Sentences that I'm reading. And research has proven that. That's why I prefer to read out loud when I read in a new language. Personally, I prefer to read out loud.
Let me listen to it one more time without any comments, and then I'll give you a score. Okay, here we go.
Personally, I prefer to read out loud when I read in a new language because this improves my pronunciation and stimulates my memory. First of all, if I read out
I
loud,
gotta say something, but it's not stimulates, but stimulates. So stimulate. So put stress on that first syllable, not the last syllable. So that's a word stress issue.
I will improve my pronunciation, which will lead to better mastering of the language that I'm learning. In addition to that, I prefer to read out loud when I read in a new language.
I like the in addition to that, because what you're doing is you're adding to the previous idea and you're showing how your ideas are connected. So your organization's actually pretty good. It's very easy for me to understand what you're doing and why you're doing it.
Because this will stimulate my memory, which will lead to better memorizing the words and sentences that I'm reading. And research has proven that. That's why I prefer to read out loud when I read in a new language.
Okay, so I don't know why you got 23 in the last TOEFL. I don't understand it at all. Your speaking, in my opinion, is very good. So with this one, let's look at the rubrics now so we can kind of figure out how to score it. So that's kind of the main thing we want to do right now. So let's go over to the actual rubrics here. Okay, give me a quick second. Okay, here we go here. Now let's take a look at that. Okay, we have this. Now what I want to do now is let's see if we can figure out where you are. So overall delivery, you had just a minor word stress issue that I pointed out. You had maybe two specific language use issues. I also pointed those things out. Topic development, no, it was very organized. I did not notice any specific problems with your topic development. So I think that's very strong in that area. So could you get a 4? I'm going to say it's possible, but to be safe here, I'll put you at 24 to 26 points out of 30. I would hope that you would get a 4 on this particular speaking task, because I thought you did a really good job in all 3 areas except for maybe a couple of minor problems with language use and a minor delivery issue. But I can understand everything that you're saying, and you're using fairly advanced vocabulary and grammar. So again, I'll put you at 24 to 26 points out of 30. All right? And thank you for completing the practice test. Okay, now what do? I have to now send all these comments that you heard me give this guy. I have to send him an email, an audio file with these comments. So my students, they do not see me in real time. I do not see them in real time. We're usually about a day behind each other. So my students send me speaking practice tests. I listen to them, send them comments the next day. They also send me writing practice tests. My teaching assistant reads and scores those and gives those comments usually 1 or 2 days after I forward over those things to him to grade. That's kind of how it works. Now there's other kinds of websites out there. You can get a live tutor, right? I think there's a guy out there called TOEFL Professor Corey. You can do a live video with a TOEFL specialist, but it's usually about $35 up to $100 an hour. I'm not kidding you. I did find a website. It was $100 an hour to offer advice for speaking. $100. Now my course, it's $45 a month. Students can actually send me up to 30 speaking practice tests each month. I give them about 5 to 6 minutes of comments on each one. So mine is kind of in the middle. You have Magoosh TOEFL over here. They don't even offer speaking or writing feedback, right? But they're pretty good with helping students understand the structure and to get ready for the exam. Then you have somebody like me who has a website that allows students to submit speaking and writing and pronunciation practice and get feedback, right? But for a minimal price of only $45 a month. Then you go over to the right, then you have these tutors, these professor tutor kind of things. You Skype with them and so on. and that can be anywhere from $30 to $100 an hour. So there's a lot of different services out there, so if you have to figure out what works for you, right? It doesn't work for me to do a live video or live tutoring for my students. Why? Because I teach students from over 60 countries, right? So there's no way I can meet with everybody in real time. It's never going to happen. Because I live in California, Southern California, and this guy that just completed the speaking, he lives in Saudi Arabia. So how do we arrange our times? It's never going to work. Okay, let me go ahead and send my comments to Khaled here. Okay, so he will get these, and I'm going to the next one in just a minute. I have another student who is doing speaking practice also for today. Okay, I'm sending that email now. Okay, so remember, if any of you guys have questions, you can certainly post your questions at YouTube. You can just post them in the live chat. And what I'm doing is I'm now sending my comments to Khaled, and then I will go to my next student who submitted speaking. And what I do is when you send me the speaking practice, I grade them in order that they were sent. So I take the oldest one, grade that one first, then the second to the oldest, and then so on. So I try to do everything in a fair manner. I try not to give anybody more attention than any others. I want to give equal feedback to all my students. Okay, let's move on to the next one now. Yeah, I have the worst internet connection of anybody in the world, I think. I live up in the desert in Southern California, and the best I can get really is about 6 to 10 megabytes a second. That's my speed. I mean, not very good. Yeah, I'm still sending this message. Try it one more time. Okay, let's see. The next student that I'm going to talk to right now, his name is Mohammed. And in his case, his TOEFL score right now is around 23 points on the speaking section. So for him, sometimes when he's submitting speaking practice, he has language use issues, particularly with grammar. And also with delivery, he's trying to work on his intonation. In my opinion, if Mohammed can improve language use and tone, I think it'll be fairly easy for him to get higher than 26 on the speaking. Okay, good. So now we're going to the next one. So this guy's doing independent speaking practice test number 46. Let's see what this question is first. It says here, would you rather read a book or go to a movie when you have some spare time to enjoy yourself? Use specific reasons and examples to support your choice. That is the question that he's answering. Now I'm going to download it right now.
My favorite type of pet.
Okay, we got it. Now what I want to do here, okay, let's see if we can okay, let's take a look at what the question is one more time. I always like to look at the question as students are answering it. So he's doing 58. So again, talk about an interesting tourist attraction you visited. Explain why it was so interesting. Okay, now the next step. Now I'm going to talk directly to Mohammed. Yeah, hi there, Mohammed, and this is Michael from your online TOEFL course, a 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT, and thank you for completing the independent speaking practice. It's topic number 58. And the question here is, talk about an interesting tourist attraction that you visited. Explain why it was so interesting.
My favorite type of pets is cats because they are very enjoyable tourist traits. Every time I feel bored or tired, I would play with them, and suddenly all the bored and tired feelings go away. Secondly, I choose cats as a favorite type of pets because they don't require much space. For example, I don't need much space to raise.
Wait a minute, which question are you answering here? What's your favorite type of pet? Right? Let me go back to the beginning here and see what you're saying. I'm looking at the wrong question.
My favorite type of pets.
Okay, my favorite type of pet. So that's a different question. So you said 58. Okay, well let's listen to that one then. Let me find that question too here. Hold on a minute. I need to find and to make sure I know exactly what the question is you're answering so I can grade it. I have a lot of topics on pets. I think you're doing 46. So what is your favorite type of pet? Give reasons and examples to support your choice. Okay, we got it. Okay, let's go again.
My favorite type of pets is cats because they are very enjoyable tourist traits. Every time I feel.
No, you can't do much with enjoyable. It's very tough to organize all your specific details around that controlling theme because enjoyable is very vague. If you said, well, I like cats because of their independent nature, I like cats because they're easy to take care of, or you might say, well, because cats are independent and easy to take care of, I prefer to have them as my favorite type of pet. But enjoyable, I don't know, but maybe you can prove me wrong. Let's see how you organize your response now.
My favorite type of pets is cats because they are very enjoyable tourist traits. Every time I feel bored or tired, I would play with them, and suddenly all the bored and tired feelings go away. Secondly, I choose cats as a favorite type of pets because they don't require much space. For example, I don't need much space to raise a cat because they have tangible size and an apartment would be enough. On the other hand, dogs and big animals would require a big house with a garden to raise them. Therefore, my favorite type of pets is cats.
Okay, so I'm going to listen to it again and we'll see how you did, but there's one grammatical error that you did several times. My favorite type of pets is. But if you say my favorite type of, I would say pet, not pets. There's no reason to make that plural. So again, my favorite type of pet is a cat. Or if you want to say that, just I enjoy cats, or cats are my favorite type of pet because. So that's one issue. So let's go through and listen to your response a little bit more.
My favorite type of pets is cats.
So my favorite type of pet is. a cat. Or my favorite type of pets are cats. If you say it like that, my favorite type of pets are cats. So you have types, you have pets, and you have cats, so then everything is plural. That would probably work better.
Because they are very enjoyable to illustrate. Every time I feel bored or tired, I would...
No, you want to say every time. It sounds like you're saying I feel bold, but you're saying every time when I feel bored. When I feel bored or tired, so you're not clearly pronouncing that first word. Again, bored.
Play with them, and suddenly all the bored and tired feelings go away.
And suddenly, all the boredom. You have to take bored, which is an adjective, turn it into a noun. Say suddenly all the boredom goes away. So that's a word choice issue.
Secondly, I choose cats as a favorite type of pets because they don't require much space.
You go to wordy, just say, I also like cats because, say it like that. That's a lot less wordy and it's more grammatically correct than what you said.
For example, I don't need much space to raise a cat because they have tangible size and an apartment would be enough.
Because they have tangible size, no, that's the wrong word. You can say, well, because they have a compact size or because of their small nature. So tangible, it's not the right word there, so I consider that a vocabulary error. That's a word choice error. So I want you to go to Google and I want you to look up the word tangible. And I want you to compare the word tangible with the word compact. Or you might use a word like small.
On the other hand, dogs and big animals would require a...
No, don't go to that direction. You're not comparing cats and dogs. Just stay focused on why you enjoy having a cat. Just focus on that. Make that your argument. The other thing, going into dogs and all that, you don't have a lot of time, and you're getting near the end of your response too, so it's not good to bring up that new idea
big
at the
house
end.
with a garden to raise them. Therefore, my favorite type of pets is cats.
Therefore, my favorite type of pet is a cat. If you say it that way. Therefore, my favorite types of pets are cats. This one, not going to do very well. I'm going to be honest with you. You're getting rusty, buddy. You need to send me speaking practice more because you haven't sent it in a while. And now that you sent me the speaking practice, I can actually see that you're having some problems, right? Which means you need to continually do your speaking practice pretty much every day, right? All right, let's take a look at the rubrics here. So there's no way you're going to get a score 4 on this one. So you simply had too many. You had some language use, also some delivery issues. I think someone might give you a 3. An IBT human rater might give you a 3. Another one might give you a 2. I'll put you in the middle. I'm going to put you at about 2.5 out of 4. 19 points out of 30 on this one. And with pronunciation, I want you to keep working on your intonation, right? You really need to work on that tone. You need to create more of a natural sounding intonation. Now, based on your problems, Mohammed, I got some recommendations, right? Okay, so let me talk to you for a sec here. Give me a quick second. Okay, so what am I saying here? Because of the problems with language use, I want you to go to the grammar part of my course, Mohammed. I have a lesson, it's called word forms. For example, bore, bored, boredom. You need to get more familiar with the parts of speech, where they occur in sentences, and what types of endings attach to them so that you can minimize some of these word form problems you're having. So that's one thing that's going to be useful. Another one in grammar is subject-verb agreement. You had a lot of problems with that. So again, I have a lesson in the grammar part of my course on subject-verb agreement. If you cannot find the lesson, go to Google. Just put this. Here are your key words. Subject-verb agreement rules in academic writing. Right? Now the third thing you want to take a look at with language use, it's singular versus plural nouns. You know, do I need to say type or types or cat or cats? So review that. It's called, I think it's count and uncount nouns. You can get some information in that area. So with your delivery, I'd like you to take a look at the lessons on intonation. I know you've been studying those already. That's pronunciation lessons 36 through 40 to help you in those areas. And that's it, buddy. So you now got your score. Not very good today. I'm sorry, but it's just not, it's not where it needs to be. If you want to get 26, you cannot make these kinds of errors in either language use or delivery. You got to get better in both of those areas if you want to get that 26 on the speaking section of the TOEFL exam. Okay, now I have to send him the comments that you guys just heard at YouTube. Can we go ahead and send this to him? The key to TOEFL speaking, one of the most important things is you need a lot of exposure and you need to practice a lot. So he had not sent me a speaking practice test in about 2 or 3 weeks. That's a bad idea. He should be sending me speaking practice every day, right? And then I give him feedback every day. Then he stays current. And he begins to solve meaningfully and in a long-term way a lot of these problems I just pointed out in this video. Okay, let me go ahead and send this to him. Okay, I'm going to send this. So let me go over here. Got it. So I'm sending the comments to him. Okay, let's see. I have a question from Shrikant. You say, I sent my integrated writing practice. Yes, I got it. And I forwarded this over to my teaching assistant who will read and score it. Also, yeah, the grammar post-test review permissions. So it doesn't allow you to... I don't know what that means. Let me go into that right now. Let's see what we have. So, yeah, I need to figure out what you're talking about, to be honest with you. And thank you for your tips. The FPGE TOEFL Facebook group there. I appreciate you allowing me to become a member there. And the article that I wrote, I think it was a couple of days ago, I wrote an article on rescoring, speaking or writing reviews or whatever. I got 180 people from that Facebook group that went over there to read that article. So more people are starting to learn about my course, but still not many people know about it, right? But anyway, I think I'm making some progress, and you're part of that. You're part of helping me with that. Okay, let me go into I'm going right into the website right now. I'm going to go to the grammar post test, see if I can figure out the review permissions. Okay, I'm taking a look at it right now. Here, let me let you see what's going on too. You want to see what I'm doing, right? Can you see that? Okay, now you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to go to the grammar post test. Okay, I'm clicking on it right now. Oh, attempts allowed 3, time limit 25 minutes, grading method highest grade. Okay, I think I know what you're saying. Yeah, I sometimes use this for my international students at California State University, San Bernardino. So I think I programmed it last quarter to do something specific. So I need to unprogram that. So I'm going into the settings right now to see if I can figure out that issue. Now I don't know what's going on. It's not opening up. My internet's very slow right now. Okay, here we go. So we want to update it. Timing 25 minutes, not going to worry about that. Review options. I think this might do it. So immediately after the attempt, I'm going to say that students can get that feedback. So hopefully this will fix the problem. Maybe. Well, it says 3 attempts. I don't want to have 3 attempts on it either, so I'm just going to have unlimited attempts. Attempts allowed here, no. Unlimited. Okay, I think I have it. I think that should fix whatever the problem is. Yeah, you can help on Facebook, Shrikant, but here's what you have to do on Facebook. Don't just say Michael Buckoff. That's not going to help anybody. Nobody knows who I am. Now, if you put Michael Buckoff has an online course which offers speaking and writing practice, if you say that, that would be useful. And then right after that, you can put my link. You can put onlinetoeflcourse.com. That would be helpful, so you could do that, Shrikant, if you want to help me out. Okay, you can go double check, Shrikant, go to my online course and go to the grammar post test and see if I fixed whatever the problem is that you said that was causing you trouble. Hopefully, I fixed that problem. Okay, now let's go back to my email. I have one more practice test I want to listen to today. Okay, this is kind of interesting. This student needs 26 on the speaking. So what he is, the first thing I recommended that he do is complete my pronunciation pretest, and that's exactly what he did.
Bird.
Okay, now the next question is, why should this student complete a pronunciation pretest? So here's my rationale for my students is, because the speaking section has a category on the rubric that talks about delivery, and it talks about delivery as being pacing and intonation and all of that, a lot of my students, once they speak more clearly and they solve the pronunciation issues, they go from 23 or 24 points in the speaking to 27 or 28, almost immediately. So in my opinion, the key here for a lot of these students is delivery. So this student, she completed my pronunciation pretest, so let's take a look at it here. Give me a quick second. Take a look at what it is. So I go to the second section of my course, and what she's going to do is, she's going to read pairs of words. Each of these words demonstrates specific vowel and consonant sounds in my course. What I'm going to do is, I will tell her as she's reading these, I will tell her which of these lessons she needs to study more in order to solve the delivery issues that she has. And then she will also answer, as you see, these 3 questions under Part B. She's going to tell me a little bit about her background and why she needs to improve her speaking and pronunciation. She'll even tell me what some of her goals are, which is important for me as her TOEFL mentor, but also it helps me understand her overall fluency. I want to see how quickly, how slowly she speaks, what types of words, vocabulary, and grammar she uses to express her ideas. Okay, now let me talk to her exactly. Hi there, these comments are for ELIF, and I am Michael, the founder, the owner, and the materials writer for all of the lessons at the 7-step system to pass a TOEFL IBT, and you have completed my pronunciation pretest, right? And I'm going to go ahead and listen to it and provide you feedback as we go. So here we go.
Pot. Bird. Wrong. Row. Honor. Over. Father. Go. Pat. Pat. Map. Map. Tick. Tack. And on. Make. Mark. Write.
So let's take a look at 8. I think 8, I want you to work on that second vowel. It's ah, pot, mop, talk, on, mock. Then you have pat, pot, map, mop, tack, talk.
White, brown, brown, royal, lie, load, loyal, tie, pound.
Now this one, brown, loud, pound, pound. You're not quite rounding the lips as much as you need to with the diphthong, the ow, ow. So in that particular lesson, focus on the AW, that diphthong, the brown, loud, pound.
Gate, get, late, let, made, met, blade, bleed, gain, then, meet, meet, peat, peat, leap, lip, seed, sit, hit, hit.
A little bit of trouble, lesson number 11, so there's a contrast. You have a longer tense vowel versus a shorter lax vowel. So we have meet, met, peat, pit, leap, lip. So you're not quite distinguishing these sounds like you need to. So I think lesson 11 is also something you want to look at.
Look, look, luck, took, tool, toe, could.
And that word is tough. Believe it or not, when GH is at the end of the word, sometimes it can be an F sound. Sometimes it's no sound at all. Sometimes it's even a P sound, if you can believe it.
Wool, match, mash, cheap, sheep, pitcher, fisher, shaft, shaft, chair, shear.
Okay, pretty good. You're distinguishing, I think, the CH and the SH sounds pretty well.
of, how,
No, I think the V sound is hard for you.
why,
Yes, this is it. I discovered one. So the V sound, if it's at the end of the word, you're having trouble with it. You're also having trouble with the V sound in the initial position of the word also. I'm going to write down this. So you got fan, van.
fan, when,
So no, you're not forming that sound. Van.
waver, wafer,
So this one's a big one. So lesson 14, this is probably your biggest issue yet. Be careful of the V consonant sound when it's in a medial and a final position in the word. You want to make sure that you're articulating that sound correctly, or it could cause some confusion with native speakers when you're speaking to them.
how, habit, woo, rehash, behavior, hate, badman, beaten, important, brightening, cataract, threatened.
Now the one here, even if you don't pronounce it, it's not a big deal, but I just want you to make sure you understand we have what's called a glottal stop in American English. When the T's in the middle of the word, we don't really pronounce the T. We'll say it kind of like this. Instead of saying Batman, we'll say Batman, bitten, important, brightening, hat rack, threatened, threatened. So that sound, I definitely think that you can practice more with. So I would definitely go into that. When you go to lesson 15, Elif, focus on the glottal stop. All right, let's keep going.
Measure, measure, fragile, freezer,
No, this is hard. Major, measure. Fragile, Frazier.
legend, lesion, engine, Azure, large, Asia,
Except for the last one, you had trouble with that zh. This is I call it the Z hat check when I talk to students about it, but you need to focus on measure, Frazier, lesion, Azure, Asia. So that sound in that lesson you definitely want to focus on. Okay, let's keep going.
cake, think, sag, came, game, cap, yap, lake, leg,
Okay, here's something that you gotta, I'm gonna explain to you a phonological rule, but in order to understand this rule, you have to understand we have two kinds of consonant sounds in American English, right? So one of them, we refer to it as, it's a voice consonant, which means when we produce the sound, let me see if I can explain this. Okay. When we have a voice consonant at the end of the word, it means that there's vibration in the vocal folds when we produce that sound. For example, if I say v, the V sound, that's a voice consonant. If I say g, guard, or keg. So why am I telling you this? When the voice consonant is at the end of the word, the vowel sound which precedes it, it should be longer in duration. That's something you want to remember, because when you're reading these words out, I was actually having some trouble understanding what you were saying. It wasn't easy. Okay, so let's go back to what we're doing here. So this was the G, right? So then if I look at these words in lesson 17, I say cake, keg, sink, sag. And then I would say lake, lag. So the K is a voiceless consonant, which means the vowel which precedes it should be shorter, but you're saying like lake, lag. Or you're saying sink, sag. But I'm saying sink, sag. Cake, keg. Lake, lag. So we have to make that vowel before the voice consonant a little bit longer. So that's something you might want to think about, and that can really make a difference with your pronunciation. It really can. How long or short the vowel is before a certain sound can make a big difference on your intelligibility, which is why I am telling you this information.
Lean, rear, better, luggage, rugged, other, right, light, committed,
Okay?
peace, space, lip, lab, cape, cub, lape, lap, pay, bay.
Now, see, it's the same problem all over again here. So in this case, first of all, the P you need to pronounce with more air. Pace. Pace, base. Then you say flap, flab. Cap, cab. Lap, lab. Pay, bay. Remember that. You don't have to make the vowel longer after a voiced consonant, but the vowel which comes before a voiced or voiceless consonant. That's why I said flap, flab. I said cap, cab.
Lice, lice, zip, zip, zoo, zoo, maze, maze,
Again, got to make that vowel mace, maze.
Elisa, Eliza, multiple, Robert, example, pressure, principle, number, people, philosopher,
And the word stress there, philosopher, philosopher.
organism, written, maximum, question, summer, reason, chess, often,
Chasm, often. Yeah, I think lesson 22 you want to work on. This is a syllabic consonant, I think.
hip, lip, cart, hard, tide, tide, train, rain, pad, pad,
No, the same problem. Fat, fad. No, it's fat, fad. It's cart, card. It's tight, tide. So again, that rule, that specific rule, it works when you look at lesson 17, you look at lesson 19, you look at lesson number 23, even lesson 24, it's the same thing. In the T, you want to concentrate on that, pronounce that with a little bit more air.
team, dream, tie, tie, breath,
No, it's not tie, it's thigh. Thigh, thy.
breathe, teeth, teeth, true, low, word, wordy.
No, you're saying wordy. No, it's worth, worthy. So you have big trouble there. Okay, so what do we know? What do we know now? So the purpose of doing the pretest is to figure out what kinds of pronunciation problems you're having and then where you need to go to improve. So I think I recommend that you go through all my pronunciation lessons before you go to the second pretest. Go through lesson 7 all the way through 24, but also you want to do lessons 2 through 6 so you can learn more about the characteristics of vowel and consonant sounds. You can learn more about them by doing those lessons. And then, here's where you want to focus. I already said it, I have it written down right here. So, I think here, lesson number 8, 9, 11, 14, 15, 16, 17, 19, 22, and also lesson number 24. Those are specific lessons I think that you can improve on in order to improve your intelligibility. And guess what happens when you improve your intelligibility? You speak more clearly, and it's easier for native speakers to understand you. And guess what's going to happen on the TOEFL speaking section? Score is going to go up, 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 up. But you got to solve these problems first. Absolutely. You see what I'm saying? You know what you got to do. You got to solve these problems before you'll be able to make those improvements. Okay, now let's go to the next part of what you're doing here. And we listen. You're answering these questions now.
What is your educational background and your work history?
All right.
I have a Bachelor of Science degree. I'm a molecular biolog. When I came to USA, I volunteered at several laboratories and hospitals. And then I took one class in university. Second question, why is it important for you to improve your speaking and
Okay.
pronunciation abilities of American English? Because I want to study genetics or molecular biology for my major here in USA.
Genetics. So you're not clearly pronouncing that, genetics. I want to study genetics.
And want to get a master's degree. And that's why speaking and pronunciation abilities are so important for tests.
Okay.
Third question, what do you hope to achieve in this course? I hope, first of all, I hope pass TOEFL exams.
I hope to pass the TOEFL exam. Don't forget, when you have a verb, when you're using a verb like hope, you want to use an infinitive after that. Why? Because hope, it's talking about a potential action, and it's very common to use infinitives after verbs which talk about potential actions.
Exam, and I want to clear and correctly speaking for my daily life.
So you're having some problems with your word forms. Sometimes your grammar problems are getting in the way of your communication. Also, you're having a lot of pauses and hesitations in there, which make it a little bit difficult to concentrate on what you're saying. Okay, now, we have that. Now the next thing I want to do now is I want to go to my intelligibility scale. I want to kind of figure out where you are on a scale of 1 to 7. 7 is a native speaker, 1 is a beginner of American English. And where are you? That's the question, right? Okay, so let's take a look at this. Let's look at this. Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 7, you're not a native speaker. So I'm not going to put you at a high 6 or a 7.0, but you're not a high beginner either. You do have some problems with grammar, vocabulary sometimes. So I'm going to put you in the intermediate level with your speaking abilities. So I'm going to put you at about 3.9 out of 7. So I think in order for you to get better, you must have better control over your grammar, your vocabulary, and also your delivery, as I've already pointed out earlier in this audio file that I've sent you. Does that make sense? So that now you kind of know what your intelligibility is. Now for the TOEFL, your goal as you complete the pronunciation area of my course, you want to try to go from 3.9 to 5.1 or higher. If you can do that, that guarantees, almost guarantees, you should be able to get closer to 26 on the speaking section of the exam. All right, so thank you for completing that pronunciation pretest. Okay, now I'm going to send her 14 minutes audio comments. She's not seeing me directly, but I am sending her comments so she can listen to my response to her pretest that she took. And like I was telling her, if she does not solve these delivery problems, it's going to be hard for her to score higher on the TOEFL. But at least she now knows. She knows what problems she's having. She knows where to go on my website to improve. And she can now set some goals in her future so she can get better. And she can also go the end, some of those lessons, she can do the voice recording exercises and then send those to me, and I will give her even more feedback. So that's kind of how it works. Okay, let me send her a quick message. And that pretty much concludes what I was doing today, and I think I've just about cleared out everything I needed to do for today. So everybody at YouTube, thank you for watching my video. Remember, if you want really high quality TOEFL speaking and writing feedback, right? You want an online course that allows you to send speaking and writing practice tests every day, then go to onlinetoeflcourse.com and you can learn more about how my course can help you improve your academic English language